Good morning, everybody. Hey, Deb, good morning. So it is a very crummy, rainy day here at Big Cat Rescue, but it is Sunday, and today we had scheduled a keeper tour, which we're still going to try to do. So we're going to try to give you as long of a keeper tour as possible today. Again, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Something very interesting I noticed is they must have just started the cage construction to connect Bailey back to Moses. So all of this area is new right here, which is kind of exciting. So anyway, those of you that are new to us, we used to give a keeper tour and a feeding tour every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Very popular tours, and because we've been closed since March 16th for COVID-19, we have had to close our doors, and we've lost a lot of tour revenue because of that. So we've been wanting to bring you guys some virtual tours that would have been just like the tour you would have experienced. And so it looks like, yay, the party wagon's ready to go. Okay, we'll start there, yeah. So this is Honey, she'll be your guide, and then Jennie is our backup. Hi. She's gonna be recording everything we do today. All right, I'll follow you guys. So Honey's a master keeper, and you can see Jennie in yellow. She is a partner. She would normally be giving a lot of our private tours, but again, since we are closed, so I want to say thank you right off the bat for anybody who's sharing this and anyone who donates through this tour today. There goes Filmo up in his tree. Shiloh! Oh my word! So we're going to see Shiloh bobcat. He makes lots of vocalizations. It's such a cool thing about bobcats is they have some of the most interesting vocalizations and the most vocalizations out of all the cats. So Honey's just getting some gloves on. We'll hand out some treats. So we will stay live as long as we can with the weather.
So little pieces of operant for the smaller kitties.
Yep, so that's red
You'll
meat.
see that they change size by size of cat.
Yep. We hope to see Priya today, so I see people asking how Priya's doing. You can watch her live all the time at bigcatcams.com. So we'll try to see Priya today. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness sakes! So again, Shiloh bobcat, and Honey's going to, yep, yeah, I'll try to stick as close to you as I can as long as it's not torrential rain. He's very saucy. He makes lots of noises. The opposite of down. Thank you guys for the donations. His feet are wet. So again, operant conditioning is a training program that we use here, and it's just to reward natural behaviors. So calling his name and having him come over to the side. We don't want to encourage him to jump or climb like he's doing. So she has to make sure that she treats him at the exact right time. This is just snacks. He actually, within the last hour, he had his full breakfast.
One more, bud.
There we go.
He's still learning.
He's very much still learning, yeah.
Can you grab one of the sicles? I'm going to put it on the bottom because he tends to knock them back out.
Yes, he does. Yeah, Shiloh came to us. Oh my goodness. Shiloh came to us this past September, so he is still learning our operant program. He's doing a lot better than he was in the beginning. He can be very feisty. So he got some operant conditioning and a tuna sickle.
Yeah, hold on to it, it rolls.
It's like not really raining, but yet
No,
all the water falling out of the trees is just like soaking me.
Should have popped that further away.
Gotta keep it in there.
Use your feet, buddy.
So a sickle here, we give these out to the cats on hot days. Today is just muggy and humid and all the windows are fogging up, and just gonna push it back in so that he doesn't roll it out. So we just got started here with Honey on our virtual keeper tour. She's done operant conditioning with Shiloh. Now he has a tuna sickle, so that's just mixing tuna and water, blending it up and freezing it. It's a nice cool treat for them.
Yeah, so like you said, he's learning down. Of course, there's wet leaves everywhere, so you guys saw him jumping over those. So I figured, let's not frustrate him and have it be a negative session. So with moving him, it's really, if we needed him to move into lockout or another section of the cage to lock him out of wherever we needed to be, we could very easily do that with operant. So that's also really important. And we try to do everything we can from the outside. Anytime we can do things the least stressful way possible, we do it. If we have to catch him, the easiest thing is to put him in his lockout area and then put a transport cage right up to the door. If you guys have watched some of our live feeds, you've seen us do that, and that's not very stressful. So getting them used to kind of moving around with food is really important. Yes. You get brain freeze?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you can come back to it. It's still there. I know you love your sickles.
He's
I haven't
so
given him a
darn
fish one
cute.
yet. He likes the blood sickles, but I
Yeah.
didn't see little ones, so.
He's like, I kind of want to chew on it, but it's cold.
My teepees are not big enough.
No. And if you want to learn about any of the cats here, you can go to bigcatrescue.org/catbio. Where are we headed to next? Where are we headed to next?
Flint.
Flint. Okay. No one will argue with that. All right. So we just finished with our very first cat. We're gonna stay live as long as we can. Linda's got to get a photo for the coordinator report. So we're gonna go see Flint bobcat. We'll try to show you guys a variety of cat species today and a variety of ways that we go about enriching their lives every day. You know, these are captive bred cats at this point. They can never be set free. So it's our job to occupy their time the best that we can. So we decided, since it's so rainy and we're gonna get even more rain the rest of today, yep, spices and perfume that are not gonna be in paper because the paper is just gonna get soggy and wet. And we don't want that because they might wanna decide to try to eat it. So Flint's just gonna get some loose stuff. See if he wants to interact. There he is. He was very sneaky. So she just sprayed Axe body spray.
Shocker.
Oh.
I'm gonna pee on that.
Yep.
That's okay.
It's a little soggy.
Olivia, the bobcats really like that.
What are you doing?
What to do with greens?
Oh, you're gonna get some parsley?
He smells it. He's blinking.
Yeah. Thanks very much for the donation, Shelley.
What do you think?
Look at that tail.
How about cinnamon?
Oh.
Parsley. If you don't like your greens, I have dessert.
Parsley is so good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of them are just like children.
So medicinal.
They don't like their greens.
Liver cleanser.
Yeah.
It's killed. I mean, I clean with parsley at home.
Yeah.
Will you mix it up with water?
I have the parsley stuff mixed already. I bought it at my health food store.
Ooh, you
Oh,
like
he does
that.
like it.
We'll still leave you dessert too, though.
I want you to eat something.
Gotta get it in here. Keeps thinking about it.
I'm going to write that as
Oh.
a very interactive.
I very much interacting, yes. So Jenny gets to chart the reactions of all the cats, and we have a scale of 1 to 4.
Oh, I didn't know parsley was a... You could do that.
And 4,
Put it on our social, if you would.
yeah, that's a great
not
idea. Oh my goodness
That's good
sakes.
stuff, huh, handsome?
Yep, he gets a score 4. Very exciting.
So again, these guys are stuck in a cage for the rest of their life. Flint was originally one of our rehab bob kitties, and he was going to not be in a cage for the rest of his life, but he has some neurological issues, and so he can't be released because we can't guarantee that he would be able to catch prey, and that is not something we're gonna, put him out into the world without that ability. So he lives here with us. So with cats in cages, or any animal in captivity really, they're very smart, and so to keep them involved and engaged, their brain engaged, we give them enrichment. And you can do all kinds of different stuff. We are Enrichment, walk around cleaning their enclosures. Trust me, he comes and finds everybody that cleans his enclosure and tries to play with them. Just simple spices like this, you can do that for your house cats too. I recommend doing it in the kitchen because it's easier to clean up there. But yeah, they might go nuts over it too. Also, some cats can smell catnip and some cats can't. It's sort of like us with, oh crap, what is it? It's a poison. Some people can smell it and some people can't. I can't think of what it is right now. It went right out of my brain.
Yeah.
So it's genetic. I have cats at home. I have 2 cats that can smell catnip and the others cannot. And 2 of them are siblings. And one can smell it and one can't. Oh, you're gonna...
You getting something else too?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh boy, so now he's got some cinnamon and parsley.
A great look at his little tail. He is a Florida bobcat, and since he is native, we could release him. We can only release cats that are native to our area, and that's true anywhere in the U.S. So that's why we can't release tigers, because they are not native to America.
Yeah.
But you get a good look at that tail. It's actually another way that they can communicate. If mom had kittens, they're going to be active mostly at night, and so you are so silly. And so she'd hold that tail up while they're traveling. As long as they see mom's tail, they know where she is. If she drops her tail down, she can go catch something and bring it back to them, and they stop moving. So it's another way to communicate without making any noise. You may also notice he has little eye flashes on his ears. She's probably getting a really good shot of that right now. Most cats have that, not all, but a lot of them have it. And we think in the scientific community, the greater we, thinks that is, so it looks like eyes looking back. Cats like to attack from behind. So bigger cats will actually predate smaller cats. So we think that it's, in the dark, it looks like eyeballs looking back at them, so they think it's a face, and they are less likely to attack. Well, tigers have that too, and nobody really predates tigers except us. So we think it's more for the cubs at that point with tigers, so that they can follow mom through the grasses or the jungles, whatever environment they happen to come in contact with. Because she is taller than they are. You are so silly. Look at your big M.
I know, he's something.
You're so cute.
You are adorable. All right, well, everyone says we should actually give Flint a 5.
It only goes up to 4. It's our version of 11.
Yes, exactly.
I did make a note that parsley is the favorite.
Nice. That's really cool to learn. Yeah.
Most cats don't like the greens.
Yep, he really kept going back to that.
These are broccoli kids.
Oh, there we go. All right. He's still rolling around. Zucari's next, okay. All right, Flinster, you enjoy. You enjoy. All right, guys. Well, so far we've seen Shiloh bobcat and Flint bobcat. So we've got 2 bobcats. We're gonna go see Zucari serval. If you ever want to rewatch these live feeds, all you have to do is go to dailybigcat.com. Oh, there's Smalls, everybody. Hi, small girl. Hi, baby girl. Out exploring. She's like, I was until golf carts came by. She's still a little freaked out by golf carts, but she is doing well. So again, the chart that Jenny's filling out is she'll write down the cat's name and then she'll write down what Honey is giving. So whether it's operant or whether it's spice or a sickle or something like that, she'll write down that. And then once we see how the cat reacts, if the cat doesn't come over and isn't interested, it's a 1, all the way up to the interacted very, very well would be a score 4. He's got such a big enclosure. Oh, I see him. He's all the way back there in a den. He just poked his head out though.
Oh, this one would be easier to do in and out lockout.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
He's right in the center of the screen in that den back there.
Zucari! Come on, bud.
Yeah, I don't know which way is better to go around to him. He's like right in the middle, so either way you go is going to be the same distance.
He's thinking about it though.
So again, more operant conditioning. Oh, he's on the move. So calling him over will earn him a treat. Coming to the side will earn him a treat. Hey, Zuzu. So she's called him to lock out and he's following all the way around. Here we go. Good job. Thanks, Stephen, for the donation. So you can see she asked him to do a down, and she has to make sure his whole body goes down. He can't leave his butt up in the air.
Back out.
See how he left lockout without her asking him to, so she wants him to go back in before he'll get the treat. Cats are very smart and they'll just start doing commands without you asking them to, just to get the treat, but we have to really reinforce what we're asking them to do. Good job. You did very good.
Better?
Yeah, he's so much less reachy.
So you can see these guys have nice long legs. Not quite as long as a stick, but close. And they will stick it all the way out. I've had a serval stick it out and then go. Not much further to get to me. So, it's very important that we have nice long sticks to use. You'll notice my hand's way back here, not way up here. He has gotten a lot better. He used to stick his feet out all the time.
Scary.
Their nice little heads fit through the 4x4 too.
They do.
These guys can bite through chicken necks, which are bigger than the bones in my fingers. So That's why we keep our digits away from them, because I like all of my fingers.
Yes.
And I'm gonna keep them. He does not so much like sickles. But usually when I leave him, he leaves them, so I'm not gonna give him that. But
I know he likes loose spices.
do you know which one?
Usually it's a catnip, but he probably likes cinnamon too.
We'll try this. Let's see what he does. What do you think, handsome?
Yeah, so Zucari's on the naughty boy list. He can't have paper enrichment, but he can have loose spice like what we gave to Flint.
I know you smell that.
Yeah.
I see your reaction.
Yeah, cats have a very intense sense of smell. And check it out.
Sweating again.
Oh boy, you enjoy that, buddy. So Zucari just got some operant conditioning and some loose cinnamon.
Yeah, Hutch.
I'll give him a 3 for the spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried him with spice. Well, that's not true. I have. He likes a triple.
Thanks, Carrie Ann, for the donation. Are you gonna try Hutch, you said?
I was gonna see if he'd come over. Yeah. Want to give him a sickle?
Oh, he would very much appreciate that.
If I can find him.
I know, now that he has that new cage expansion, it's like...
Well, we'll never see him before now. He'll be like, watch this. I can hide anywhere.
Hey,
Hutch,
Hutch! Hutch!
Hutchikins! Usually over here. You got the extra spoke
Yes, yep, so if you go
over.
that tunnel area, yeah, he's back there.
Oh yeah, so speaking of that, I know some of you guys know this, but most of our cats have much larger enclosures than what you see right here. We call them bubbles because most of them are rounded. He's got 1, 2, 3 bubbles here and then a whole nother enclosure in the back. You guys can see those steps. They go over a tunnel. He has access to that tunnel into the other enclosure. So lots of space now.
Well, he's going to be very sad to know that he missed out.
Hutch, Hutch!
Hutch!
You know, I'm surprised they didn't have a Starsky.
I know. Oh, I see you.
Is he right there?
Yeah, he's under the platform back there. Hey, you! Come get this sickle. He's under that platform. You better come get this sickle, sir. Come on. Look what Honey brought you. You better come see.
Come here, buddy. Usually it takes him a minute.
Yeah. He
And
has
then-
to know if it's worth it.
Come on.
Come on, Bubba.
Here. See how many goodness, I promise.
Come on, Bubba.
You can see the wheels turn.
I know. He's like, is it worth
Walking my
it?
ass over here. Goodness. Gotta go through this tunnel.
Who's screaming over there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Mouser is calling you.
Of course he is. Ooh.
Come here, Hutch Hutch. Come get this sickle.
Mouser?
Come get this sickle. He's like, I'll get it when you guys leave.
Sometimes he goes up for bags. Little bags. So, maybe check first.
Come on. All right, it'll be there when you get up. That's part of the that's part of the enrichment process. They don't always come over. No, at least not when we want them. Yep, they'll come over after we've left. At least he didn't get snubbed. He officially got one. We going to Jinx? Okay. Oh, yep. He is, I think this is his last week on funcation. He'll have been out for a month. Whoa, what was that?
What was that, Mouser?
What was that, Mouse? Sounded like
scary,
a
wasn't it?
really huge something that landed in the trees.
Sounded like a ranch.
Yeah. With all this wet weather, there's all kinds of,
There's a lot of trees.
yeah, a lot of trees.
Instead of leaving enough trees, our cats would be babies.
Yeah, true.
So,
Very
I would
true.
take trees any day.
Very, very
Our
true.
volunteers would also be babies.
Yes. All right, so we're gonna see Jinx. Oh, I think I see eyeballs way back there. Yep, he's creeping.
Are you coming? Come on, sneaky black cat. Oh, I will hide from you so you'll move.
He is so funny. Jinx is a black leopard.
This is our fun game.
Yeah, every time Honey shows her face, you guys gotta see this. Now he's a running. He sees me, which is confusing too. I'm like, I don't have it. It's not me today.
Are you gonna go around? Oh no, I see him here.
He has to always play games.
Back out. All gone, last one.
Good job, buddy.
So if you guys are worried about the look he's giving me, that's the look he always gives me, whether I have food or not.
Yeah, very intense.
And then if I don't also leave him a sickle,
Oh, yeah, you're never
a different look from him.
never gonna be forgiven.
Which is, why didn't you bring me a sickle, lady?
What kind of sickle is this?
Blood.
Blood sickle.
All right,
giant blood
Jinx
sickle.
is getting a big blood
You ready,
sickle.
Bubba?
Ooh, landed
Oh, it landed right
perfectly.
way. Sweet.
The good side up.
It does not always happen. So, with him in lockout, we can do a couple of things. Not just if we needed to take him to the vet or something. We can shut that door with his tail all the way in. Obviously, he didn't get his tail all the way in, so we would make him go a little bit further. But if we needed to give him a shot, if we were doing vaccines or something, we could do that. One of our vets is really great at blow darts. Even some of the cats, we've been able to draw blood from their tails while they were in lockout because we had somebody on the other end, the scary end of the cat, feeding them treats. We've even been able to do sub-Q fluids with some of our cats in lockout, which is not very common, but really great because that's less stressful for them. Get the fluids in and then just open the door and let them go back into their enclosures. We don't have to transport them anywhere or anything like that. So again, the more we can do with the least amount of stress, the better off we are. Cats don't do really well with stress. Some cats take a really long time to readjust to things or adjust to new things. It's just like if you guys take your cats to the vet, it may take them a week to forgive you. Same kind of thing with our guys, except our guys hold bigger grudges.
Yes.
And then, again, it's whatever's best for them, so the least stress possible. We try not to sedate unless we have to either. just because the chemicals can be really tough on their systems. So it's just like you don't want to have to sedate your own house cat unless you have to. Same reason. They're tricky. Just like people shouldn't have a bunch of surgeries either for the exact same reason. I mean, he's a good boy.
He's very smart.
If you're wondering, he is declawed. Those are not claws that you're seeing where he's got the little white marks on his feet. But for some reason, he has lost the pigment in his fur around where his claws should be. But he came to us declawed. Lots of cats come that way. Generally, if a cat has claws, they keep their claws once they come here. There's no need to declaw them. And we treat everybody like they are clawed. Even if he was to reach out and hit one of us, it would pretty much be like getting hit by a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So we don't encourage that either.
Yeah.
You are such a goof.
They're very strong.
In a minute, buddy.
I know, he hasn't stopped once.
Oh, he's doing really good. So he's one of my new favorites.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite passed away overall, and now I have 3 favorites because he can't be replaced with just one.
Exactly.
That would be too simple. So.
Exactly.
And the next question is, who was my favorite? Bengali. He was a tiger. And the question after that, who are my 3 favorites? Jinx, Priya. Yay, everybody loves Priya.
Yay.
And Kali, because she's another Georgia girl.
Kali, baby.
So I nicknamed her Peaches.
Oh, that's
'cause
adorable.
I'm from Georgia as well, so us Georgia girls gotta stick together.
That's adorable.
All right,
I
let's
like
go
it.
see if we can find the handsome boy for a sickle.
Okay.
And maybe, have you tried spices with Mouser?
I know he liked paper, like with spice and perfume, but I haven't personally, just done loose.
It's out, so we might as well try it.
Yeah.
These are species they may not have seen.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I was trying to wipe off my camera a little bit. The rain dropping out of the trees has not been friendly to my camera.
So our songs of the summer are going to be raindrops keep falling on my head, and here comes the rain again.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely already started. Definitely already started. I don't know. I don't see it. So this is Mouser. Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Tiny boy.
You need to go look at her for a second.
Hey, mouse, yeah, come here. Hi. Oh,
There we go.
all right, this way.
What was that?
Come back this way. Do you like the parsley?
Oh.
Yeah. Did you discover it yet? Yeah,
Look, your tail gets puffy.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Something.
Oh, what do you see at?
He's getting very drooly. A lot of drool.
There's,
Check it out, it's on the ground.
there's so much drool coming out. There you go.
Oh, you found the...
So, Mouser is one of our hybrids. He's a mix with a serval and a domestic. It is not something we need to be making because we have thousands of cats waiting to be adopted everywhere. But people make them because they can sell them for $3,500 up to $10,000. People think it's really cool to own them. You supposedly get the beauty of a wildcat with the personality of a domestic cat. That rarely happens. You usually get the beauty of a wildcat with the personality of a wildcat and the size of roughly a domestic cat. But it's just not a necessary thing. But we have several that live here. He is one of them, and they were all pets. And people eventually realize, this is not your normal house cat. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Cats are obligate carnivores, so they need to eat meat, and only meat. The stuff in your cat food that they're putting in there, like fruits and vegetables, is really just to make up for the lack of minerals and vitamins that are in their food. It doesn't really do a whole lot for them. In the wild, the cat's going to eat the belly of the animal first. You know what? I'm not even going to give him cinnamon. He's so excited about that.
Parsley is really
like
the
the
hit
parsley.
today. That's amazing.
Maybe
I'm not
it's
gonna
just
waste the
trying
cinnamon.
With all the cats.
Yeah.
And so they're going to eat those vital organs first. And then if they get scared off whatever kill they have, they've got the most amount of nutrients out of that animal. And then scavengers can have the rest. So that really is the most important. We've had cats come to us that were owned by people who were vegetarian. So they decided the cat would also be vegetarian. Her name is Cricket. She's a serval, and she basically had rickets when she came to us. Recently, we had to do some diagnostics with her and did her x-rays and found that she has really terrible, I guess, osteoporosis, for lack of better terminology. And so we watch her very carefully just to see what's going on. She didn't get the right nutrients. Sometimes they would rarely give her maybe a little bit of fish and maybe some shrimp, and that was like all the meat or protein she ever got. So not really what she needed at all. And a lot of times people they don't do the research. They don't find out what they need. We had a cougar that lived on dog food. And so his bones weren't part right either.
That's terrible.
I mean, people, they get dog breeds because of the way they look and don't realize they need to have a job, you know?
Yeah.
So Jack Russell Terriers living in a Liberty apartment, they're ratters. They're looking for something to kill. And their shoes look like that. So, I always tell people, you'd be better off with a Great Dane than a little apartment.
Yeah.
They're giant couch potatoes.
Yeah.
They're not trying to kill anything. So Manny's gonna get sickled.
Manny. Okay, yep. So we'll go see Manny
So everyone
Jaguar.
can drool over him.
Yes. Get out your fainting couches.
Reverse drooling.
Yeah, Hutch never came over for his sickle, so he must have been pretty satisfied with breakfast. That and not a lot of these cats enjoy the soggy, wet weather. Thank you again to everybody who's helping answer questions in the comments. Jinx is still enjoying his sickle. Zucari's still laying next to his cinnamon. So we've had some big hits this morning. Good job, buddy. Thank you so much for the donations too. Again, we usually give these tours 3 times a week, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And because we've been closed due to COVID, we are losing out on that revenue. So every penny counts. Thank you guys very, very much. 100% of your donations goes to the cats. So she's gonna give him a sickle. He's kind of on the naughty list too, in the sense that he can only have...
You can keep his attention?
Yeah, I will certainly try.
Hey,
Hey,
He
hey.
is wicked fast.
He is. Hey, hey. He's, oh, actually he's closed out of that
Oh,
section.
I can use it. Yes.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, I used to use this double when the tunnel was down.
Yeah.
And it was safer. And then he got moved over here and I was like, well,
So Manny can't have any kind of paper enrichment unless it's really, really thick, heavy cardboard. And he can't have any operant conditioning either, but he loves sickles. He's very, very fast. There we go.
sorry. To make sure he didn't move.
Yeah,
He is super fast.
he is. So he got a blood sickle.
So I know we showed you a black leopard, but if you look at the body design, Manny is a jaguar, so he is going to be stockier than leopards. He is solid muscle, this cat. If you get a look at his head design, it's very square and boxy, kind of like a pit bull. That's really the best way I can tell them apart. If you look at those forearms, they are just built for holding on to and killing things. These guys are one of the cats that actually like water. So I think at some point we're gonna try to put in some kind of water feature for him. These guys are found in South and Central America, and there's actually a really great video of a cat called Scar on Nat Geo, I think, killing a caiman. So these guys live where they kill caiman, which is basically a form of crocodile, alligator. It's in the same family, a little bit smaller. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking you. My
Oh,
bad.
you're all right.
And, so they have the strongest bite force of all the cats. So they can go right through that hide, if you think about how thick an alligator hide is. Also, they can bite right through turtles, things like that. Oddly enough, he generally licks and doesn't automatically crunch it completely. We had a cougar, Mac, who like third lick, he wanted to get to the center of his Tootsie Roll Pop. So he just crunched into it.
Yeah.
But Manny doesn't do that very often. He has a slightly shorter tail. These guys are not as arboreal, which means they don't hang out in the trees as much. They will sometimes hunt from like overhanging branches and then dive into a river. Leopards will actually take their kill up into the trees. So they're on the plains of Africa. They're competing with lions and hyenas and things like that. Lions and hyenas don't climb trees, so leopards are pretty smart and they take their food up into the tree. So if you're flipping through and you see a gazelle hanging out in a tree, it's because a leopard took it up there. So, I mean, cats are very smart in general, but I think leopards and jaguars probably get the I'm smarter because they're really sneaky about things. They will hide very, very well and be super stealthy.
Very calculating.
He is fully clawed, and he can fit those feet out really quickly.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't want to find out what they feel like. So that's why I was very intently, like, he's pretty good about staying where he is, but just on the offhand, he doesn't. We're going to do that. The other thing, if you look, their spots are actually called rosettes. And so it's a circle of spots. You can see those really good on his sides. And on jaguars, they generally have spots within the rosettes. He actually has a little face in one of his, which is kind of fun. And then he is really interesting. He has like almost solid black spots all the way down his spine, which is very different than most. We haven't had a lot of jaguars here, so it's been a relearn the species for a lot of us. But he is just absolutely gorgeous. He came from the Henry Dorley Zoo, and I think Nat Geo said he's the most photogenic jaguar they've ever taken pictures of.
Yep.
So,
I think to this moment, if you Google Jaguar
He
and
shows
you
up.
click on Nat Geo's website, it's him.
So if you're ever looking and you see cats that are, their faces are pristine and gorgeous, those are cats that are in captivity generally. If a cat is out in the wild, they've got scars all over them because nature is not a cute little Disney film. Nature is literally survival of the fittest. Lion prides, they fight with each other to eat. So a lot of them have scars on their faces and things like that. Hence, that's why there's a jaguar named Scar, because he has fought with things that don't want to die.
Yeah.
And he's trying to kill them.
Exactly. Yeah,
They fight back.
they fight back. We feed them here, and they just get to enjoy the food. So if you guys were listening to what Honey said, she answered over and over and over again why we do not do operant conditioning with Manny. He has the strongest bite force of any of the cats here. He has ripped an entire pumpkin wide open in one bite. We use operant sticks, and we know that he's smart. He's very food motivated. We do not actually need to teach him that operant commands here because he will go into a lockout. He's not one that really needs trained because he's just literally the strongest cat on property. So it would be way too big of a risk to try to do operant with him. So the operant committee, which I'm a part of, has completely made sure he is banned from doing operant conditioning with anybody here. But he can still have sicles. Thanks, Steve, for the donation. Just so happy we've dodged the rain this far in. Yeah. So we're gonna go see Aries Cougar and do a little bit of operant conditioning with him. He's got a massive enclosure now, so finding him is always, yeah, it's always a challenge.
See if you can find him.
Yep.
He's the where Waldo.
We couldn't even find him last week for the keeper tour, or the feeding tour, and it was food time.
Yeah, I see it. Look. Hiding over here. You're gonna want this here. There's a lock out here too. We'll see if we can get him to go through.
Yep. This is Aries. Hi, bud. You can probably hear him purring.
Come on.
Come here, bud.
Come on, buddy.
I think he's like, why are there so many of you? His cleaners are over here. There we go.
Forget how tall you are. He's like, I don't know, operate for us.
I know. He's like, well, I did just have breakfast.
That's fine.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the feeding lockout while he's in there?
So that's what I was about to do. So
Yeah.
this is where they can eat and drink whenever they want to. Obviously, you can see him drinking. And for those of you that don't know, cats actually drink with the back of their tongue. It kind of works like a reverse spoon scoop. Sometimes they make a big mess, though. Anyway. And then this feeding block, we would put his food down here. The extra cage wire is so that the birds don't come steal his food. Although they're not real smart if they try. And then he can come in here anytime he wants to. The lockout serves a couple purposes. Eating and feeding are the most obvious. If we need to vaccinate, again, we've talked about that. Or if we needed to catch him for any reason, we would get him to put that tail all the way in, shut the guillotine door down, and then we could put a transport cage up against it, and then he can just walk right into that. You ready to eat a little now? No? Still don't want it?
Still don't want it.
It's yummy goodness, I promise. I'm trying a little bit.
He's like, I'd rather just purr.
No kidding.
All right, no operant for you. We'll just hang out.
You just purr.
We're just
There it
hanging.
goes. We try a blood sickle, Bubba?
Oh, that might be better.
He did just get his full breakfast within the last hour or so.
You just wanted drinks, but no foods?
So if you guys have joined in late, we've seen Shiloh bobcat and Flint bobcat. We saw Zucari, serval, and we tried to get Hutch serval. We saw Mouser Savannah and Jinx the black leopard. We were just with Manny Jaguar, and now we're back here with Aries, who has decided that even though he has... Yeah, he's just laying in lockout. Even though he has this large enclosure, you can see his tail hanging out.
Lockout is super stressful.
Roar.
They just are so stressed out by it. Hey, bud, how about you come over here?
Yeah, come
I got
over.
yummy goodness. You
You want
ready?
the sickle instead?
Oh,
Oh, there's the blood sickle
he's like, but
now.
I have to move for that.
There's
Yes, but if I put
mucus.
it where you are, there's nowhere to put it.
Yeah, he'd just kick it back
You
out.
take up the whole thing.
I love that he literally can't fit his tail in there.
You're just so big.
You're so loud. So I have an orange cat at home named Pumpkin. She purrs like him. She's so loud. So I go, she would sound like Aries. She doesn't know what that means, but it makes me happy. There we go.
You're all right.
He's not as big on blood sickles as he is other things, but I thought I'd try.
Give it a go.
Oh my.
Yeah, you had to move so far. Oh, it was so tough.
This is very exhausting to be that
I'm gonna
handsome.
take a nap.
Look how
Oh,
handsome.
goodness. Nap time. Well, you and your sickle have a nice nap, sir.
Yeah. I'll let you hear his
Go
purr.
see your biggest cousin.
All right.
See what that.
You hear him purring. All right, you enjoy your sickle.
So cougars are the largest cat that can still do that true, genuine purr. Anything larger than that is more of a sawing or a roar. And Aries has the best example of a purr.
What? They're wearing a fursuit, lady. Sometimes they're just divas.
Everything around here is on cat time, so if they want it, they want it. Yes. So you're heading to Nikki? Okay. All right, we're gonna go see Nikita. Nikita's our only lion here. We'll most likely do some operant with Nikita, and then we should be heading to see a tiger or two, and then we'll be wrapping it up. Susan, yes. So every single thing that was offered, handed out of any kind today gets charted. So that's what Jennie is recording. And then all of that will go to, we have an operant log and we have an enrichment log, and then each cat has their own individual log. So absolutely, it will be marked down that we offered operant to Aries and he had no interest. But like I said, Aries gets a supplement in the morning, so he gets a treat from the meds keeper. and then he gets the full breakfast, which he gets a couple pounds in the morning, and then he also gets another little evening snack as well because he gets a PM supplement. That's a kidney supplement. She might be over here if they're cleaning her bowl. Yeah. Oh, she just flopped down. To whoever's saying we have horrible cages, if you really feel that way, you've got to do some more research. If you're just saying it to get a rise out of us, that's another story. But our cages are huge. And it's very hard for you to see an entire enclosure in one shot. Yeah.
Much bigger pieces of meat for the big guy. Big guys, I should say. So they're gonna be larger than what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick likes food a lot.
Yes, she does.
Come here, Doodle. Come here.
Whoa.
Come on,
Whoa.
big girl.
Whoa.
I hear you.
Oh, grumblings.
Hey, watch you get up, so I'm not gonna make you do it now.
Yeah. Yeah, when the cats reach a certain age, or like her who has a lot of arthritis from having been declawed as a cub, we don't always require them to do the downs unless we absolutely need them to. We know she will, so it's not something we have to make her do all the time.
We're also getting a really good look at her walking.
Yep. So we do a lot of medical observations.
And drink water.
Yep. So we do a lot of observations with them when we do operant. Like she said, we're looking to see how she's walking, how her eyes look, how her ears look.
That's a good girl.
That was very good. So that's just her feeding walkout. She can come right back out. Oh, that would have been,
That would have been a fail.
it would have been terrible.
So you guys can
Whoa.
see how big she is. She is the tallest lioness I hope I ever meet.
Yeah.
God forbid there be a bigger one. I know, I'm working on it, kid. Hey, Nick. Okay. That's a good girl. One more? Last one. You ready? Yep, it's the last one. That's a good girl.
Good job.
So, no surprise, she likes food.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken is her favorite. And even though she made a little bit, some grumpy noises, had I had chicken, she'd make a lot more grumpy noises, and her ears would be back, and she'd be way more aggressive about everything. So, even declawed and everything else, she's a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm.
She is huge. She is our biggest cat at 426, maybe a little bit more now. But,
Yeah, it could be more now.
we had to sedate her last year, and we'd never sedated her, so we didn't know how much she weighed. So we found out, but she's our biggest girl, biggest cat right now. She's always been our third biggest cat. We had two tigers that were bigger than her. Shere Khan, who was part Siberian, so he was about 700 pounds or so. And then another Nikita was about 650 or so when he came. We actually got him to lose a little weight, which is nice. Then we could actually get the collar off of him.
I remember
those
that
four came with
story.
collars.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So,
Yeah, it's terrible.
but Nick was actually taken in a drug raid, is where she came from. Apparently, somebody had her chained up, guarding their drugs. So when she first came, she had these big hydromas, which are just fluid-filled sacs on her elbows. So it's another reason why she has arthritis. She's had it since she was about a year old. So we've just been managing it her whole life. She just turned 19, I think. Yeah, 19. So yeah, we sedated an 18-year-old cat, so we were all a little nervous. And
Yeah.
it was the first time, and it was a lion, so yeah, all kinds of fun.
Yeah.
But she did really well. She's one of the cats that's quote-unquote friendly enough for us to spray should we need to with a cut or something like that. We don't have to do a whole lot. She'll generally come over to us. Still, she's a dangerous wild animal, and she can fit her feet out. And so you still want to be on your toes. But you saw when she stands up, she comes up to almost my shoulder. So I'd love to be able to tell people that, and they go, "What?" And I'm like, "Yep."
I like
She's
to
huge.
point out too the fact that she's laying against the side the way that she is. If we absolutely had to, if our vet was here, he could probably inject something into her if needed, because Honey could be up here with either a scratcher or an operant stick with some treats. So these are the reasons why we work so diligently doing operant with every single cat, is earning their trust, and that way it makes anything medical a lot more tolerable for the cats.
You're such a good girl, Snickerdoodle. Also, lions have tufted tails. Not really sure, but they're the only cat that has that. The lions kind of break all the other cat rules. They're the only socially organized cats. They live in a pride. Everybody else is solitary. They also don't have the eye flashes like most of the other cats do. Oops, sorry. Using the stick making me think I'm going to give you more food. And when these guys are actually little, just like the cougar cubs, they're spotted. Helps them camouflage a little bit better. And Nick is really funny. She still has some of her spots.
She does.
On her belly. They never quite went away. But then they generally become monochromatic. And so they're very well camouflaged on the plains of Africa. So the king of the jungle is a terrible misnomer. Lions don't live in a jungle.
Right.
Tigers do.
Yeah.
So tigers should be the king of the jungle, and lions should be king of the grassland, but that doesn't sound very good. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And technically, lions aren't the biggest, so they shouldn't be the king either.
True. Yeah.
I also
Tigers
went
are
to Auburn,
technically
so
the
I'm going to
biggest.
say tigers for everything. So, there you go.
I gotcha.
I'm slightly biased, but not the big girl.
All right, thanks, Nick.
The big boy.
You did so good.
If you guys do want to watch her, she's got a live webcam on her at bigcatcams.com. You can always watch her on her Explore camera. I think right now she's not, actually she has access. Yeah, so she can go to her open air. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to hang by my den in case it rains again.
She likes the rain, sometimes she doesn't.
Yeah. So you can always watch her.
On that platform in the rain and not care. So, I guess it depends on how hot it is.
Yes, exactly.
Just kind of like us.
Exactly. All right. We've got
And what else do we have?
we've got about 15 more minutes.
Okay. I still want to get Priya in. Kali and
Kali and Priya.
well, if we're right there with Shazzy,
Yeah.
kind of have to do them together.
Okay.
or they compete with each other.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so we're gonna see Jasmine, Kali, and Priya. So we'll be moving on to tigers now. We're still hoping that we can beat the rain. I think it was right around 11. It was supposed to be back up to 50% and then just going higher from there. So Kimba got an expansion. I will probably show you guys more of that when we're not doing a keeper tour, but Kimba has now been shifted over. That's him right there. And he's on the other side of the tunnel at the moment. They're gonna do some repairs in his home enclosure and then open him up, and he'll have all of that space. So very, very exciting. All right, so we're gonna see Jasmine Tiger, probably Kali Tiger. So you can see Jasmine working her way over from her open air section into the roof section. Ooh. Ooh. Normally, if it wasn't so soggy and wet, we would have done a lot more paper enrichment today, but since we run the risk of everything being flooded out later.
turn around for everybody?
That was very dainty.
It was. She was so cute about it. I'm trying to get her to turn around too. You gonna go get water? What are you doing? Hopefully you can get her teeth.
Good job, lady.
So that was a nice down. She was slow-mo down, but she went down.
Almost alright.
Yeah.
Can you come back up for me? Look girl. So that is actually really easy to see how well their shoulders are working.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the reasons I didn't do that with Nick, because she'd already gotten up for us, and she already has arthritis,
Mm-hmm.
so we just kind of keep an eye on it. So she peed on me.
Nope, we don't want that end.
Are you done? You want some spices? You want to go hug your tree? Can you hear me? The allspice. She loves the allspice. You want some more? Let me give you spices. This is another one of these right there.
Yeah. Being a busybody. We don't want that end.
No? Okay, we do spices.
It's not very,
No.
Photogenic from that.
Not the most ladylike thing she could have done, but.
You want some spices?
You love the allspice.
So she's getting some of the allspice, loose spice. Nope, I don't want that end.
You are right where I want to put it too, kid. Because you can actually roll there. There we go. You have to be patient with kitties.
Yeah. They do it in their own time.
She's one of our spice girls.
She is one of those spice girls.
Well, we will have time for you then.
We hear you, Cully. You making a stinky face?
Practically doing a somersault over here. She just gotta rub the top of her head on the ground.
Sweetheart.
Uh-huh.
So tigers are really interesting for a multitude of reasons. One of the really cool things about them is no two tigers look exactly the same, even if they're littermate siblings. Their stripes are just like our fingerprints. Oddly enough, identical twins have the exact same DNA, but they have different fingerprints. So it is true for all species. Some tigers have very similar striping patterns on their faces. I actually saw a cat at InSync that looks an awful lot like a cat we used to have here, and I freaked out. I was like, why do they have a picture of one of our cats? And I realized, oh, it's not. But their striping patterns all over them are different. So we have had to, if you guys are familiar with the Texas three, Amanda and her brothers, we actually had to identify them from pictures taken when they were little, and Jamie had to extrapolate out what their stripes would look like stretched and widened as they grew. And so we had to try to get pictures of those cats at animal rescue site. Oh my gosh, forgot the name of it. Anyway, in Texas. And they weren't super cooperative with us, but we finally needed half of the face for one and a back leg for the other, because those are the pictures we had to identify them by. Since they had 24 cats at the time, we were trying to make sure we got the right cats.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit interesting. They do the same thing with snow leopards. If you go to snowleopard.org, you can help save them in the wild. They actually, the camera traps, whatever part of the cat they catch, they will look at all the patterns and then name the cat, and then they know which cat it is. I know, she looks it up too. She's so funny.
So cute.
She's doing a little bit of what we call stinky tiger face, or stinky leopard face, or stinky lion face. It's really called Fleming, and your house cats will do it too. Oh, do your weird somersault. They have a organ in the roof of their mouth called a Jacobson organ. Yep,
Oh,
gonna pee on
she
us
finally
too.
did it.
We're hitting the trifecta. And So it actually helps them smell. I actually got a really good picture of Cons when we had him sedated once. And it was, of course,
I've gotten to
huge.
see, I saw it on Hoover.
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's really
that's
interesting.
absolutely amazing. Yeah.
It's very interesting. All right, kiddo. I knew I could make you
Yeah.
happy. We're going to try
Yep.
the same thing with little Miss Peaches.
All right, let's go see Cully, baby.
I'm pretty sure she's all ready.
I think so too, yeah.
Are you gonna
You
participate?
guys can hear the difference in their trucks, too.
Yeah, they have very distinctive chuffs. Ooh. We're going.
Yeah, we're playing Roly-Poly Tiger, huh? Can you come be Roly-Poly Tiger over here?
Yeah, where there's more space.
On your face? You can actually roll.
Hi, Mama. Come down this way. Yeah. Come down this way. There you go.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, and she actually has really big front feet.
She's got massive feet, yeah.
No, you're just gonna...
Nope, just rollins. Well, your tail's in it.
Yes.
Your tail's in it.
Kill as much of it as we can.
She'll smell. I can smell it.
Yeah,
And she can smell
Well,
it.
this one is the most potent.
yeah.
She's just enjoying it.
I know, you got it. You're so scared.
I'm still gonna give her a positive.
Yes,
there, you know?
absolutely.
Put her nose in it.
Good job, lady. So she also got some just loose spice. Like I said, usually we would use things like paper towel tubes and wrapping paper tubes and toilet paper tubes and then paper bags, and we would put the spices in them or on them or spray them with perfume. But unfortunately, with how soggy it is, and we've got so much rain in the forecast through tomorrow and I think through the week, we didn't do the bags today. Oh my,
That's the best stuff.
It's very good. Very, very good.
Roly-Poly soap.
Very drooly. Very drooly.
Told you it's good stuff. Drool is always a good sign. Just get the tail dip.
yeah, that was
Just
awesome.
stick to your tail.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh my goodness sakes.
Yeah, and you can see she has her claws too.
Yes, she does.
Tiger claws are really big and thick. If you've seen some of our vet procedures, you've seen some of us hold the claws up so you can see what they look like. There's the Fleming. I know, stinky tiger face.
That was the cutest smile all day.
For these guys, they are much thicker. On a leopard, it's going to be very like crescent shaped, just totally for hooking and grabbing and holding on to. These guys, they're so strong. They hit you once, you're pretty much out. You can also see her canines really well in that little Fleming that she did for us. So the canines are really for killing. They're the big teeth. The cats will generally grab from the back of the neck and shake. And so if you watch some of our feeding or something like that, you may see them pick up a piece of meat and shake it. It's a natural instinct to make sure it's dead, because once you shake it by the neck and you're that size, you pretty much broke its neck. So, but their chewing teeth are similar to ours. We have molars, our back teeth. We actually grind our food. They cut their food up. So their back teeth kind of look like mountain ranges, and they're called carnassials, and they actually cut their food. So if you're watching on one of our live cams in the vacation enclosure, you can see our tigers will get fed, and you can see they'll take those big huge chunks of red, cut a piece off, swallow that piece, then pick it up and cut some more. They do not chew up their food, they swallow it whole. And part of that is it's faster, and they've got to get as much nutrient as they can should something else come along or whatever. These guys are solitary, so they kill, and then they've got to, get as much in as they can. If you have a pride of lions, you can hang out that carcass for quite a while because you have a pride of lions, and pretty much nothing but hyenas is going to mess with you. But with the tiger, they've got to get as much as they can, as fast as they can, should another tiger come up, or a rhino show up. Tigers don't generally take on rhinos because they're armored and scary. So it just, it just depends. That was good stuff. It's almost gone.
I know, it's like,
covered in it.
can't even tell it was there.
I know, it's almost your color.
You're gonna have to go
It's
swimming
good stuff.
and get it all off there.
So I think we'll have time for Priya.
Yeah, let's definitely head up to Priya. All right, so we're gonna end with Priya. So I'll kind of do my last little spiel here and just thank you all so very much for hanging out with us today. So thankful that the rain held off so we were able to do this. See, Jasmine's now back over playing with her spices as well. So I'll list the cats after this live feed is over. You can rewatch it. It'll post automatically on our Facebook page, or it'll post at dailybigcat.com. So they're just turning around. I'll be turning around. Thank you so very much for all of the donations. This has really been making a big difference on Sundays, so it's been really worth taking the time to get myself and the keepers and the coordinators all on the same page so that we can bring you this type of tour every Sunday morning. Next week should be, again, weather permitting. It'll be back to a feeding tour with Catherine. And then we'll be taking a bi-week break for Father's Day Sunday. We won't do one that morning. However, we'll be back the following week with Miss Rebecca doing another keeper tour. So again, weather permitting, and if we ever have to cancel, I'll try to make sure we put out a note about, why, and maybe we'll try to make it up somehow. But thank you guys very much for answering questions for me in the comments. I always see questions pop up, and then I feel bad constantly interrupting the guide to ask, when they're already talking. So I apologize if certain things don't get answered, but I have full faith in our online team that is always in the comments answering questions, that they'll reach out to you. So thank you guys for all your patience. Thank you so much for the 23 of you that donated so far today. And we really appreciate all of the sharing. Sharing is the easiest way for you to help spread our mission to other people, for us to help find new people to support the cats. So Priya has her own little mini vacation right now. Duchess is on vacation, so on Explore, yeah. She might.
Come on, pretty girl.
She has been favoring this big den, but yeah. So now we just gotta find her. She's got over 1.5 acres that she could be in. So this will be Priya Tiger. She'll be our last cat today.
Where are you?
Lake levels back up a little bit. It was real low last weekend. I was like, holy cow. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. That got really crazy.
Is there a tiger face?
Now you can hear me. You can't talk as loud as I can yell. Come on, jungle girl.
Priya!
Priya! Free! Princess Priya! Where you at?
No, she's probably around let's
Priya!
check this one around the corner.
She likes that one too.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make it where she could be on live cam too.
Probably once you get her up, you could get her over there.
She's so funny.
Priya!
Fans.
Priya, your world is waiting for you.
Priya! Where are you?
Oh, right in here. Hi, Sleepy. Hi, Sleepy. There's treats out here for you.
I know you can hear me.
Oh, there we go. Sleeping in her den. Whoa. Yeah. Hi.
There you go, don't drop it. One of my favorite things is
Mm-hmm.
What a good girl.
So if we had ever needed to wake her up and shift her into a different section of her enclosure, this is why operant's so important. She came right out of that den.
Good job.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And get some water.
Oh, are you gonna move on us too? Can you drink?
No, say no. Just more food, please. More food, please.
Just gonna move. Super talkative child. So, Priya actually came to us as part of the largest tiger rescue,
Do you remember?
in the United States ever. A gentleman at Serenity Springs, which is not aptly named, had 75 tigers. Yep, 75. And he was breeding. And if you look at her, I know it sucks, I agree.
It was not a good place.
If you look at her big lockout area, even though it's very large for a lockout, where she was living, there would be about 5 tigers living in this one space. So, Tigers for America helped with Turpentine Creek, who took most of the tiger. They took about 30. They had space, they bought the property, and then they kind of converted everything and took care of them. And then we still had 45 tigers that needed a place to live. Well, nobody can take 45 tigers. So we took 5. Black Beauty Ranch took some. I think New Haven, Safe Haven, Wildcat Sanctuary. I'm trying to think of all the cat sanctuaries I can think of. In Sync, and I think Carolina Tiger. And I might have missed somebody, and I apologize if I did. Took almost a year to get all the cats situated. What's funny is when we first got them, I thought everybody was going to be super aggressive at feeding time, and they were actually really super chill. My personal opinion is they were all really happy to be separated.
Yes.
By themselves.
They didn't have to compete.
Because tigers are solitary. And she had been used to breed all the time. So she actually came to us with, if we hadn't gotten her when we did, she would have died. So she was extremely grumpy when we first met her that first night. We had to take 2 of the boys and put them out the first night because they were legitimately trying to get out of their transport cages. And so we can't have that. And so we had to pull her out to get to them. And so a couple of us were standing around just kind of observing. And she was super grumpy and agitated and just not happy. Didn't seem like she was comfortable. And we thought it was just the trip. Well, we get her into her habitat and she's still super grumpy and agitated. So we thought, well, maybe it's just the adjusting. And then we realized she couldn't lay down properly. She always had to kind of readjust herself and everything. And so we decided she was healthy enough to do some diagnostics with. So we took her in and we discovered she actually had an infected uterus. She had 20 pounds of fluid.
Oh,
You all right?
what happened here?
I know, it's traumatic. I'm sorry. You have to even listen to me talk about
I
it.
think you sucked up a bug.
I know, it's like right on cue. Little did you know we've been working on this for ages. No, just kidding. Although she would probably cooperate. So we had to do emergency surgery. Took it out, had to be taken out whole. And if any part of that had ruptured at any time, she would have been septic and toxic and died. And so our vets are amazing.
Yes.
Dr. Wynn, Dr. Borstein, Dr. Justin. They're absolutely incredible. Did that. She recovered in our hospital recovery cage for a couple of weeks because had to make sure the incision didn't get all nasty and gross. She still had some issues with some kind of bacterial infection. Every single one of those cats had something like that with them when we finally got to check them all out.
I know.
And she was fat, dumb, and happy after that. She is the chuffy, little talkative, mooing girl that you see now almost immediately. You may notice if you get a close-up of her left eye when we were doing enrichment, or operant, sorry, She does have that third eyelid is always kind of in the same spot. That happened after her sedation. So again, sedating is only when we absolutely have to. But if we hadn't, she would have absolutely died. So
I know.
kudos to Tigers in America. That was absolutely amazing. We're very honored to have been able to help take some of those cats.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Priya's the last one that still survives that, but we're gonna care for her till she leaves this world, and that's pretty much what we are. We are a geriatric cat facility.
Yep, forever home.
Forever home. But they get the best care we can possibly give them, and you guys are a huge part of that.
Yes.
And even more now, because we're not open to the public. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you guys joining us and hanging out and listening to me rattle on and prattle about cats and try to be funny.
I think they really enjoyed all of your
And we're so glad
stories
you
and
collaborated
information.
with us.
Yeah, you did awesome.
You're such a good girl.
All right. Well, all right. Wave goodbye. And goodbye to Jenny. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining and for all of the donations. And I'll see you guys again soon.
Say bye, Priya. You're such a good girl. My goodness.